From the 14th to 18th of September 2023, the AOSK Catholic Care for Children in Kenya held its annual general meeting at the Mese Sisters Center in Karen. The meeting brought together administrators, directors, and social workers from 73 childcare institutions that work with AOSK-CCCK. The sole intention of this meeting was to learn best practices in the field of childcare reforms, documentation of challenges encountered in the implementation of care reforms, as well as deliberating on opportunities for growth in advocating that the best place for growth and development of children is their families.
The work that you are doing, you are proclaiming and evangelizing through your charism of care. The association designs programs, but you implement. And this is one of the programs, Catholic Care for Children, spearheaded by the Association of Sisters of Kenya. We are glad to have you to come for this AGM because we want to look back and see how much have we achieved in terms of achievements. What has been the challenges as we move with this process of care reforms, and how best can we address them?
Before the meeting commenced, participants had their own expectations.
My expectation today is to learn from all the CCIs around to share. And also, I heard there was a meeting that was held and some bishops also attended with the AOSK-CCCK. So maybe it is good also to get the feedback for what the bishops talked about care reforms. Thank you.
My expectation today is to learn about the progress we've made since we started implementing the care reforms, as well as the challenges we encountered, and also to take part in the planning for the next year activities.
My expectation is one, to socialize with one another. Secondly, how are we prepared with care reforms? Thank you.
In the spirit of collaboration, networking, and partnership, the AGM was graced by representatives from the National Council for Children's Services. The representatives were able to share with their participants the overview of care reform efforts in Kenya's context and the obligations of the different duty bearers in implementing them. Mr. Emmanuel Mugesani, one of the facilitators, explains how the day was.
I'm a children officer, the Standards and Compliance Department. So basically this afternoon I'm here to meet AOSK sisters in regards to training issues to do with care reform and registration of charitable children institution. As we all know, we have the new act in place that came about on the 26th of July 2022, and it's really emphasizing on the need, not only the act but also the constitution. It's emphasizing on the need of children living in families and communities, and it's also emphasizing that family being the fundamental unit for any child in the country Kenya. The Council also came up with the National Care Reform Strategies. We also have the transition guidelines that are about to be launched. So the reason for being here and speaking to Catholic sisters from AOSK, it's all about ensuring that children live in families and communities. And this is what the government is also emphasizing, which is something that AOSK is doing very well. Issues to do with reintegration, they're doing it holistically and systematically, and as a government, we want to work with them so that we ensure there is a smooth flow and process in regards to all these issues to do with matters of children in the best interest of the child.
Mr. Emmanuel pointed out that indeed there is hope that by the year 2032, there will be no child care institution remaining in the country. He also emphasized that right now there is no registration of new childcare institutions. What can be done only is the renewal of certificates for the existing childcare institutions.
We've done practical reintegrations. We've reintegrated so many children within a period of 1 year, and we've seen most children love being in communities and families. And most of the partners that we've worked with have assisted us in issues to do with care reform. And we've seen, even in a period of 5 years, it can also be doable. So it's a gradual process, and we are sure by the time 2032 reaches, we are going to achieve our goal as government. In regards to registration of new CCIs, we are not registering any new CCIs. We are only renewing certificates for CCIs that already have previous certificates of registration.
Finally, Mr. Emmanuel acknowledged the efforts Catholic sisters are putting to ensure that children are reintegrated back into their families, and insisted that indeed a safe place for a child to grow is within the family.
The sisters are doing a good job in regards to the children they've reintegrated, the partnerships, collaborating with the government. They're doing a good job in working towards assisting the Kenyan child and ensuring that they live happily and safely in communities and homes. So as a parting shot, I would say, let children live in families and communities, because that is where their best interests are met. Let all these children live in communities, because a child needs a sense of belonging. A child needs networking. A child needs attention. And they can all get this when they live in communities and families where they feel more appreciated.